Hi, good morning. Hello to John, James, Stacey and Richard. For those of you who haven't seen me before, my name's David. Some of you obviously do know me, but what I'm going to do now is just very quickly go through the two different demonstrations and show you how to build and use the props and a few bits and pieces about the tool, and also what my experience has been over the last sort of few years actually demonstrating this. So we're going to start off talking about the grass shears and then move on to the weeder later on. Right, this is the grass shears, and I'll take you through the tool in just a moment, but first of all I'm just going to show you how to set up and use the prop that we've built for demonstrating in store. What I've built is a simple piece of kit, rubber feet so it can stand wherever it needs to go, and artificial grass surface, and all of these two bits of wood, and at the front end here is a piece of rubber tubing. And all you need to demonstrate this is to take some of the paper, which will be paper printed with grass, slide that between the tubing like that, and when you stand on it, it will hold the paper in place, and then you can cut it, and it's as simple as that. So it's pretty self-explanatory, but this is how to use the tool. So either you or a customer can take the grass shears, stand on the board, and then with the paper here you can just cut like that, and then when you get to the end, all you do is step off, pull out the grass a little bit more, step back on again, and you can use that. So you can actually get 15-20 cuts out of this, so you can show customers how it's used. So these are the Fiskars long handle grass shears, and what they do is they take the whole kind of grass shear equipment up a notch, if you like. What you've got here is a shear that's made of glass reinforced plastic, so it's incredibly light and very, very strong. You can drive vehicles over it, whatever you like, and it doesn't do any harm at all. And the actual cutting components of this end are made of stainless steel. They are incredibly sharp, and witness the fact that you can cut paper with them quite easy, so they'll go through grass no problem at all. The whole point about this is that they are completely ergonomic, and that here at the handpiece you're not actually moving your arms backwards and forwards, but all you're doing is opening and closing. So on this side here is a thumb operated switch, so you unclip this and the blade's open, and then if I turn it round you can see that this operation is just a case of going like that, like a pair of scissors, and that operation at the top translates to the shearing action at the bottom. Now if I just turn this around as well and we pan up, you can see that the operating blade inside actually sits inside the handle, so there's no way it can get caught in any way at all. The operational end of the shears is where the clever bit comes in. These are what are known as servo assisted. Have a look at the website to see what exactly that means. But really these are geared so they're going to cut very effectively, and also they don't block. They're designed so that the grass won't block them in any way at all. In this direction they can be used to cut vertically. If you are going around the bed the other way, or you're left-handed, you can twist them around and go the other way. This is obviously both of these methods for cutting the edges of the grass, and if you want to go in and cut flat up against a wall or a fence, you can do that. And what I'll do now is just go through and once again just show you how this works here. So in terms of demonstrating, stand on the board, take it there, thin slip, and you can cut it like that. Now here's the section about the Fiskars weeder. By the way, it will be on major primetime TV advertising during the month of May and early June, so we should get plenty of coverage and customers should know what it is already. But a little bit more about the tool in just a moment. So I want to take you through how to actually build your demonstration prop. So when you come into store, all warehouses will have turf on display. So what I'd like to do is buy a piece of turf. It's £3.48 for a length. But if you get hold of a VAT receipt from them and actually include that in your invoice, then we can actually claim that back. So once you've bought a piece of this turf, all you do is fold it back on itself 5 times like this. And what that's doing is giving you a piece of turf with enough depth for the weeder to actually go in and use it and actually use and work with your weed. Having done that, and this by the way can be placed on the ground, straight onto the concrete or the floor of the shop. I'm just using this bit of board just for convenience. And then bring a knife with you, a pen knife, anything like that, and then just cut a small hole in the centre like that. Go right the way down, just so that you've got a nice hole set in the centre of it like that. Okay. Having done that, either from your own garden or from the car park of the B&Q, go and dig up a dandelion, preferably in flower, but you might not always find that, with as much of the taproot as you possibly can. And then it's just a matter of placing that into the hole that you've made like that, and then you can use this over and over again to demonstrate the weed puller like that, but more of that in just a moment. So in terms of demonstrating the weed puller, again, sound is your friend here, and particularly this particular action here. This part here is where you eject the weed after you've taken the weed out, and if nothing's happening, I'll sit here doing that and it attracts people's attention, and to me it reminds me of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, so it's kind of a shotgunny sort of sound which appeals perhaps to the male purchaser. But in terms of demonstrating, all you do is place the weeder over your dandelion, push down with your foot like that, put your foot on here, pull up, and out comes the weed. As you can see, you might need to make a slightly larger hole so that comes out again and again. And then when you've finished, all you do is you operate that and the weed gets ejected like that. A little bit about the tool itself, though I'm pretty certain it's self-explanatory, particularly if you look at the video that's on the website. So again, the weeder tool is made from glass reinforced plastic, so it's incredibly strong but incredibly light. And the working part of it here is made of stainless steel, so that when you've finished it, you can literally just wash these teeth under a running tap. And the operation of it is very, very simple. So once this tool is put around the rosette of a dandelion or a lawn weed, what you do is you push that in, the weed is inside here, yeah, and then as you lean back on it, the teeth come together, and then you lever it, and the teeth pull the weed out with a large chunk of the taproot as well. So translating that into what happens on the ground, you put it in, that goes around the weed, you then, as the handle goes back, it pulls the teeth together, and then all you do is lever it, and the weed comes out like that. And then again, this action of ejection is great, because actually it's a nice noise, it appeals to people. And what I tell people is that this product is absolutely addictive. Yeah, once you've started using it, you can't stop going around the garden trying to find weeds. What it will appeal to is with people who have got who don't want to use chemicals, people who've got kids, people who've got pets that go on the lawn. So just in summary, the way to demonstrate this isn't to actually do it until you've got some people's attention. What I tend to do is stand in or around my piece of grass, make sure the weed's in place, and I'm actually doing this, and if I catch people's eye, I'll go, look, have you seen the new weeder? Have you tried this? And hand it to people. They'll look at it, you can explain it to them at eye level what's going on, and then say, well, have a go, and get them to stand and go through the whole process. If you want, you can show people yourself how this does actually work. And finally, people might ask you what weeds that you can use it on. You don't have to use it in a lawn, though it is designed for that, but just be aware that the weeds that this will work with are ones which have got a central rosette. Things like dandelion, plantain, daisies, etc. If you use this on things like black medic, on clover, etc., you will find that they work a little bit, but they're not as effective if there isn't a central taproot, so you need to explain that to people about the weeds that will work. So I wish you well, have fun with both those demonstrations, and obviously you've got my phone number if there are any issues whilst you're actually doing it. So thanks and have fun.